Seriously, this is so much fun. It just sticks together. So much fun. All right, what's up everyone? If you've been living under a rock, today we're going to be talking about the GTS M, which has magnets in it. Before we start this video, I know a bunch of you are going to ask, yes, I don't have my glasses on. I am wearing contacts now because of the colorblind glasses that I wear. They don't have my prescription in it, so I wear contacts now. So if you're wondering where my glasses are, it's because of that. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the GTS M, which is a Waylong GTS with magnets in it. This is a new recent thing, and a lot of people in the community have been going crazy debating over this entire thing, and I have one, and I just wanted to make a video about it, talking about my thoughts and all of that. So the first question that has been asked a bunch is, what the heck, $50, are you out of your mind? And if you want to read why it costs that much, read the description. Phil made a post in a group, and if you want that answered, you can read that. I agree, $50 is pretty up there for a 3x3, especially when you can buy a Thunderclap for $8, but it's $50 for everything listed in the description. Whether or not that's worth it to you, completely debatable, but that's why it costs that much. You can read that. Next question is it comp legal? And that one is a really tough question to answer. Here's the thing. A lot of people have the wrong idea about this cube in terms of how the magnets work. Everyone is like, oh, if you're off by 45 degrees, the thing will just align for you. And no, that is not how the cube works. So you can see it's off by 45, still off, still off, still off, still off, and now it finally aligns. Like, it doesn't just align for you. Like, look at that, it's not aligning itself. If the magnets were so strong that it could align from right here, it would be really difficult to turn. So it doesn't function like, oh man, if I drop the cube, I'm not getting a +2. That's not how it works. And I've seen a lot of people who seem to think that. But to answer the question, is it comp legal? That's kind of difficult because the WRC is still kind of thinking about it. Obviously, the magnetic Pyraminx was approved because Drew used that in his world record and he got to use it. But I messaged Lucas Guerin and talked to him a little bit about it, and they're still kind of talking about where magnets are going to fall in with the speed cubing community. So it's kind of hard to say. My personal belief would be that if the Pyraminx is legal, why wouldn't the GTS-M be legal? But that's not my decision to make, so I don't really have an answer for that one. Next question is, will the magnets wear out? I believe Chris Tran did a write-up on Speedsolving about the whole process of all of this, and they tested a bunch of magnets, and apparently it's not supposed to wear out. Essentially, the cube should wear out before the magnets wear out. Whatever magnets they used are supposed to be extremely strong magnets that will not demagnetize, and pretty much the cube would have to melt before the magnets would demagnetize from heat. So shouldn't have any problem with them wearing out, but obviously I've only had it for a couple days, so I have no clue if they will wear out over time or not, but they claim they won't. Is the GTS M heavier? Not really, in my personal opinion. Like, I picked this up and didn't notice any weight difference when I got it. I mean, side by side, like, you can feel that the GTS M is like a tiny bit heavier, maybe, but like, it's so small that it wouldn't even matter. Like, if I gave this to someone, I don't think anyone would be like, wow, that is a much heavier GTS, what is wrong with that? They're pretty much the same, and it really doesn't make any difference. Next question is, can you feel the magnets when you're solving slow and fast, or is it only when you're slow, or what? And pretty much only when you're turning slow do you actually feel the magnets. If I go like this, I can feel it click into place because of the magnets, but if I'm going like this, like, I don't feel the magnets clicking or anything like that. So to answer that, no, you don't really feel it while turning fast. It's kind of hard to explain the feeling of this. Like, obviously there's that click, but when you're turning fast, it's kind of hard to tell. But then when you go back to a normal GTS, you just kind of feel like something's off. So I mean, you can feel it very slightly. I guess the best way to describe it would be that the cube kind of has like a tactile feel because of the magnets. But it's not bad. I mean, some people probably won't like it, but it personally doesn't bother me, and you don't really notice it. And now, trying to explain the feel of the cube, this is honestly really difficult if you can't just try one. Like, it feels like a GTS, but there's just a tactile feel to it type of thing. Like, there's just, The best way to describe it when turning slow is that it's kind of like ball bearings in other cubes, but it's not a strong ball bearing. It's not like, oh, you have to really try to turn through it. Like, I can flick these and it still goes through. But it's kind of like that when you turn slow. Like, if you turn it, you'd probably think it feels like ball bearings a little bit, but it doesn't hinder anything else while you're solving. I can still turn fast on it. It's not any slower. I will say, I mean, it could be how mine was lubed, but personally, I thought mine was a little bit slow. So I did put silk in it, and that sped it up. But I do think overall, the magnets make the cube a tiny bit slower, but nothing that you can't fix with lube. If you put some Runnier lube in it, if I put more in it, it would turn fast. But I think overall, it's a little bit slower than a normal GTS, just because of the magnets kind of trying to grab on each turn. But it's nothing that is going to be a deal breaker. You could still set the cube up fast. And from what I understand, the magnets also allow cubes to be on a much looser tension. I haven't tried that because I personally like the tensions that this are already set to, and I'm not a huge fan of looser cubes. But I was told that you can set these quite a bit looser, and the magnets help hold the shape of it. So that's kind of cool. Someone who likes looser tensions could work with that. So the last question is obviously, is it worth it? And honestly, this is completely up to your own judgment. My personal opinion after playing with the cube is that the magnets are going to be for a subset of people who have a certain turning style in the community. If you're more aggressive and you struggle to make accurate turns, I think this cube is going to be something that a lot of people, or a lot of those people, really enjoy. I kind of fall in the middle between a really aggressive turner and an accurate turner. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle of that. And I personally found that the magnets were helpful for me comparing to the normal GTS and the magnetic GTS. I personally prefer the magnetic GTS. I'm not a huge fan of the GTS, so this GTS M isn't going to be my main, but they are sending me a Volk with magnets, and the Volk has been a contender for my main for a while. So that'll be a better test of kind of what I think of magnets. But personally, I think this has the potential to be really good. And here's the thing, guys. Everyone seems to have like the wrong idea about this. When this came out, people almost just like took offense to it as if the Cubicle were trying to claim it was the best cube ever. Like, everyone's like, oh, how dare they charge $50? It's not even going to be that good. Here's the thing, guys. At no point in time did it claim to be the best cube ever. And I don't think it's the best cube ever. I just think it's something different out there. And I think there are going to be people who love this and will not want to use a non-magnetic 3x3. And there's going to be people who are like, I don't care. I can turn accurate. And in that case, good for you. You don't need magnets. But I think a lot of people are going to really enjoy this, but it's not for everyone, and it's $50. So my personal opinion would be, if you're on the fence, just wait until you're at a competition. I'm sure for my next couple competitions, I'm going to try and make sure I carry this. So if you want to try it, just come find me and you can try it out. But if you're at a competition where the Cubicle is going to be, they've said that they're going to try and make sure their staff always have them so you can try them. But if you're that skeptical, don't buy it. It's like, it's not a huge leap in anything. It's not going to make you drop 3 seconds. It's not going to make you way better, but it's something different that a lot of people are going to enjoy. And it's cool to see people trying something new. Like, designs have gotten to the point now where it's all squared off corners, it's all rounded centers, everything's the same except the plastic type, they all corner cut the same. So to see someone trying something where they're doing something different for the design, I think is really cool. I think the cube is good, I think it's nice. Whether it's worth $50 or not, I don't really know. Personally, I don't know if I'd pay $50. I would certainly want to try one before paying $50, but it's a cool concept. We'll kind of see where it goes. We'll see if it becomes comp legal or not. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on the cube. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I will try to answer them as best I can. I'll see you guys later.